Now let's move on to the next, that is the oral route. So in the oral route, we do is the application site is via the oral cavity as tablets, and the first example is a very common, that is the PCM, that is paracetamol, right? So guys, the paracetamol is also called as, let's write it down, acetaminophen. So don't be confused if you find the word this, that is acetaminophen, it means PCM. Okay, now two words we have to remember, that paracetamol, it is an antipyretic and not antipyretic and analgesic. Let's write it down. Antipyretic means it decreases fever, and analgesic means it decreases the analgesia, that is pain. This is the use of paracetamol. So guys, in the COVID times, this paracetamol was extensively used. So guys, can you name me the medication which was used in the COVID? So if you know the answer, write down in the comment section. Okay. So next we have is the pantoprazole. So guys, pantoprazole is an anti-hyperacidity drug. Let's write it down. It is an anti-hyperacidity drug. That means it is used in treatment of GERD, heartburn, and the esophageal ulcerations. Okay, so guys, actually it is a proton pump inhibitor. So I'll talk about the anti-hyperacidity drugs in the future videos, so stay tuned for that. Now, but for now you should remember that this is a proton pump inhibitor. That is number 1 point. Okay, it decreases the amount of acid produced in the stomach. That is number 2. Now it also treats the GERD, heartburn, and esophageal ulceration. So guys, let us example that this is a gastric area and this is the esophageal area, that is the esophagus. So what happens sometimes, that due to excess amount of acid production, the acid reflects back up to the esophageal part. So that disease is called as gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, right? Now guys, as the level of acid is increasing towards the upper area, it reaches the chest part, right, and causes irritation and pain. So in that case, the patient often says that I have heartburn. Actually the heart doesn't burn, but the feeling of heartburn is why, because the acid has reached to the heart area, nearby the heart area, and causes angina, that is the chest pain, that is heartburn. Okay, the next we have is the esophageal ulceration, that is there is a breakdown of lining of the mucosa of esophagus. That is very clear. That is all about the pantoprazole. Okay, now one more thing here. So guys, commonly you will see that there are 3 drugs, that is the pantoprazole, then we have omeprazole, and we have the rabeprazole. So guys, can you tell, out of the following drugs, out of the following proton pump inhibitors, that is the anti-hyperacidity drugs, which is the best drug? So guys, the best drug is the rabeprazole. This is the most effective out of the 3. Okay, now I also see patients who come to me that they have a complaint of excessive acid in the stomach and they feel kind of nausea and vomiting as well. वो कहते हैं ना कि उन्हें बेचैनी हो रहा है. In that case, what I do is I simply prescribe this medication, that is rabeprazole, and with that I give a combination of domperidone, that is an anti-emetic. So guys, if you also see a patient like this, make sure that you give medications of rabeprazole plus domperidone. Okay, it's a very good medication. That's all about the oral. So guys, before moving to sublingual, we'll also complete the chart as well. So in the local, what are the classifications? So guys, you know that topical, that means on the particular area, that is the soframycin. So the topical comes under the local route of drug administration, that is topical. Then we have is the deeper tissues, that is using syringe and needles. So we use the needles only in a particular site, that is the articular capsule, you see, that is a particular localized area. So deeper tissues also come into the local route of drug administration, that is D. And the arterial means into the arteries, also comes into the local route of drug administration. Let's draw the lines here. Okay. Now the next we have is systemic, that is in systemic you would see that there are 2 classifications. So guys, the number 1 is the enteral, and other one is the parenteral. So guys, enteral means involvement of the GI tract. That means a kind of medication when enters the GI tract, that route is the enteral route, and if it doesn't enter by the GI tract, that is the parenteral route. Okay. So the next we talk about is the sublingual. Okay. So guys, no, wait, we have missed the oral and oral. So guys, in the oral you see tablets you have entered GI tract, so the oral will come under the enteral route. So let's write it down that this will come into the enteral, that is the O. I don't have much space, so I'm writing short form, but in the copy you will write elaborate everything. Okay, that is, it is topical, TOPICL, and in a long fashioned manner. Okay guys, next. So before moving on, just check it out. We have sublingual. So guys, the tablets is placed under tongue, so after the tongue it will go to the GI tract. So the sublingual will also come under the classification of enteral. Let's write it down. This also involves the GI tract. And then we have is the rectal. So guys, rectal is also the part of the GI tract, so this also comes into the enteral route of drug administration. That is oral, sublingual, and rectal. Okay, so next we have the sublingual, that is the tablets placed under the tongue, and the first example is the nitroglycerin. So guys, nitroglycerin, it is also called as GTN, that is glycerol trinitrate. So guys, I have mentioned this in my earlier videos of the myocardial infarction. In the treatment video, I told that the nitroglycerin, that is GTN, it is used sublingually, number 1 point, and the drug dose was 0.4 to 1 mg. Okay, just look at here, nitroglycerin and sublingual. You can check out that video also. Okay, that was in the treatment video of myocardial infarction. Okay, so guys, nitroglycerin is also called as GTN. It is used in heart failures, okay, MI, and angina. That is the nitroglycerin. So next we have is the clonidine. So guys, this is an antihypertensive agent. Now I won't go into detail about the antihypertensives. I'll make a separate video on that as well. For you should remember that the clonidine is nothing but an antihypertensive agent. Okay. So guys, next we have is the rectal route of drug administration. So guys, rectal and anus are two contrasting words. You should not confuse both of them, right? So let us have a quick discussion on the rectal route as well. So guys, rectal means that it is the end part of the large intestine. End of large intestine is also called as colon, right? That is the large intestine. So I may divide this into variety of parts because we have variety of parts here, as you can see. Part number 1, 2, 3, and then we have is the 4. So guys, let us classify this. We have is the colon, that is the large intestine, and we have number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So guys, this part of the intestine, it ascends upward. Okay, so this is called as the ascending colon. Okay, now this part descends downward, so this will be called as the descending colon. Okay, so guys, transverse is also a colon here, that is this part, that is a transverse colon. Number 2, this. What does this mean? So guys, if a plane is at 90 degree with the vertical axis, that is a transverse plane. So here you can see this is the body, okay, and this is the intestine, and this plane is what? The transverse plane. So this becomes the transverse colon. Then we have is this, that is the 4 number. So it is in an S-shaped manner. You can see here S-shaped manner. So we say this is the sigmoid. Sigmoid means S-shaped. Sigmoid colon. So guys, after the sigmoid colon, you see this narrow tube-like structure. So guys, this narrow tube, this area, this is the rectum or rectum. Okay, but this part, that is the orifice of the rectum, is what we call as the anus. So rectum and anus are two different words, but are a part of a similar like content, that is similar area. End part of rectum is the anus. Okay, that means now we give the drug that is as suppositories. So guys, suppositories means that these are form of medications which are small and cone shaped, and they are inserted into the rectum, that is this particular area is where the medications are given, right? So guys, my question is that the suppositories are only given in the rectal route? No, the suppositories are given in rectal route and other body orifice such as urethra and vagina also are the routes of suppositories. But in rectal, now we see that we have two examples, that is indomethacin and we have the diazepam. So guys, indomethacin is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. Okay, and just like we remember the PCM, that is it is antipyretic and antipyretic and analgesic, so it becomes the antipyretic also, analgesic also, and anti-inflammatory also, that is the indomethacin. Okay, and next we have is the diazepam. So guys, diazepam is an antidepressant drug. Okay, as simple as that, it's very clear. So rectal is done. So guys, the internal is completed, oral, sublingual and rectal. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed the video. So do like, share and subscribe, and comment down below the topics you want me to make a video on. So that's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.